Welcome back to the Good, the Bad and the Ugly podcast with me, Tony Murrell, proudly sponsored by Super Resin. This week's special guest is Cassie Willow, a woman who's lived through the chaos and come out of the other side with powerful lessons to share. We talk about living for the weekend, battling addiction, and what it means to truly hit rock bottom. Cassie's story is raw, real, and a reminder that change is always possible. Thanks for listening and watching this episode.
Since I stopped drinking every single day, I strive to be a better person than I was yesterday. I thought that not being here would let my family and my children lead a normal, productive life.
Welcome to the Good, the Bad and the Ugly podcast with me, Tony Murrell, and this week's special guest is Cassie Willow. Really looking forward to Cassie sharing the Good, the Bad and the Ugly. How are we, love?
Honestly, I'm sweating and everything. I feel like I've bumped into a celebrity.
Behave, no, don't be daft.
Honestly, I'm so grateful that you've invited me down here. Like, your podcast and the people that you've interviewed and things are people who inspire me.
Do you know what, Cass? This is what it's about. The podcast is about real people with real stories. And, you know, all our guests we have on are just like me and you. They've got two arms, they've got two legs, they've got it all on the backside. But listen, we all have a story. And your story has certainly had the good, the bad and the ugly. You know, I know a lot about you. I've watched you and I've seen you at your good, I've seen you at your bad, and I've seen you at your ugly. And my wife watches you and she follows you and stuff, and you're very inspiring. And what we're going to get into is probably going to hit a lot of people and reach out to a lot of people. You know, you've hit rock bottom, you've hit the drink, you've hit the drugs, but you've bounced back. And like the 1% club, you know, you're the heart and soul behind it, and you know, you're a believer in change, and it's baby steps, and
change is possible. It genuinely is.
Exactly.
Change is possible, but you have to want it. You've got to. I feel it running through my veins. It's in my blood. It's in my bones. But you've got to want it because it's not easy.
Of course, it's not. And listen, you know, I just want to get right into it. You know what I mean? And start, like, you know, and say, you know, where you from, where you from, where you grew up, family life and school life was like.
Yeah. So, I'm from originally Halewood. School was all right, never really fitted in. I never took my GCSEs, I left when I was 15. And I've got 3 kids, 3 absolutely, they're not kids anymore. I still call the baby, and he's like 6'3". But I've got 3 amazing boys.
Yeah.
But yeah, life has been
like, listen, life is hard and stuff, and you know, with kids and stuff like that, and growing up, and it's one of those. But we'll get to that in a sec. But you know, growing up, Halewood you were from.
Yeah.
A lot of good people in Halewood.
Yeah.
I know a few people from Halewood,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of good people.
Yeah.
A lot of Evertonian mates I've got.
Hollywood we used to call it. Yeah.
Hollywood, and a lot of Liverpool mates I've got, you know, in Halewood. And there's a lot of good people. I think, like, in a lot of places, like Runcorn, Halewood, Speak, Garston, there's always a community.
Back in the day when we used to go, like the Paradox and that, you had your corners, Kirby was there, Halewood was there, Speak, Garston.
We used to go to the Throne was.
Everyone had the little corners. I loved where I grew up. It was fantastic. I lived in a little cul-de-sac. My nan lived in the next little bit. We had a pub over the road. You know, all my family lived around there. All the kids, you know, we were all together. I had lots of like cousins and things like that. And, you know, my granddad took us all, you know, the Duchy, the woods and everywhere. It was fantastic. And then obviously we had to move, and then now I've moved.
Your story and stuff. But from an early age, drinking, like many of us do, you know, you started at what age?
Everyone does, don't they? It didn't fit in at school. I had short back and sides like this, what I've got now, but back then when when you're trying to fit in and
kids can be mean.
It was horrible. I'm glad there was no such thing as social media and mobile phones back in the day, to be fair. But it was horrible. And when it was it wasn't that bad in junior school, but when I went for my induction day in senior school, it was just, it was absolutely brutal. And to fit in, I started smoking and I started drinking. dinner money up all week, because back then everyone got the dinner ticket. So you buy the dinner ticket off your mate and then go off on the ciggies, share the dinner with the girl or whoever you bought the dinner ticket off, and then save your money up for your bevies at a weekend. Then you went and got your bevies from the shop, your ciggies, and you went in the middle of the woods and you all had a ball. And back then, what I loved about it, it's kind of like I'm sitting here nostalgic, but what I loved about it back then was, it wouldn't matter what state you got yourself in, your mate always brought you home, your mate always looked after you. You don't get that now. There's no solidarity now. It's like,
if someone's like that, but like
people get the phone out, get the phone
out, or
something
happens, they start videoing and stuff like that. But
yeah,
it's scary to back in the day when, like you say, we were kids and stuff, and we all used to go drinking on. We all used to go.
There'd be about 12 people on a bottle of Lamborghini. You'd be spinning around
on the merry down.
20s on a ciggy. You'd be gutted if you're at the end of the ciggy, the lip burner. Honestly.
But no, it's times like that when you think back. You know, they were the days where you'll always remember.
That's when you drank for why people who haven't got a problem drink. You go out and have a drink and have a laugh with your mates, and you come home. You go to bed, or your mates stay. You have a laugh, talk about it. You know, who'd you see him?
Yeah.
And then you get up in the morning and you get on with your day, you know, you don't get hangovers.
But they still cracking on or whatever. And listen,
there was nothing better than when I started going out and you bought, you know, a tablet back in the day and you only had half just to see what it was like, and you forgot it was in your bra, and you get up in the morning and take your bra off and it'd drop on the floor, and you go to your mate. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not glamorising it because, you know.
But it's your story.
But then,
yeah.
looking back now, then that was the beginning. And for everyone, when you start doing things like that, listen, it's the best.
But of course it is, and it's when you look back at it now, and because we are going to get into it and stuff. But when you look back at it now, that's the start of it. And when people say, "Oh no," and when people have got an issue with drink or drugs or, you know, whatever adversity they've gone through, and you just look at it and you think, going out, drinking at 13, smoking at that age, and then slowly going out to the paradox. Or...
I used to go, me and my mate's sister used to lock a wardrobe so we never couldn't use her clothes. She'd go out, we'd pull the wardrobe out, take the pins out, take the clothes, go round, say we were going out, take a bag, go round the corner, get changed, get the bus to Wavertree Street if we had to be in for 10 o'clock till 9:30, and then come back and put the clothes back in my mate's sister's wardrobe and like tap it back up and put it there.
Take the back off it, did you?
Yeah, just like pull the pins out, take the back off, like she didn't know you'd been in there, because there was no mobile phones, there was no pictures, so you were incognito.
Yeah.
You were out the way once you were out, and you know, your parents and no one knew what you were doing as long as you were home for like the time you were supposed to be
Parents
over.
now just look on stories or on
like
WhatsApp or Snapchat
like,
or whatever it is.
You can follow your kids like literally step by step now, like, you know.
Imagine that when we were young kids.
Genuinely,
yeah, honestly. But at that age, going to Paradox Club and Liverpool nightlife, was that a big thing for you and stuff?
Yeah, like, you know, that's, I still go out now with my friends. I can go out. When I stopped drinking, for me, I'm a social butterfly and I need to be around people. I just always need to be around people.
You're a people person?
Yeah. So my good friends still like drink, but they haven't got a problem. They can go with or without it, go out and have a glass of wine. So for me, so that I could still be with my friends and that, as soon as I started my recovery, I still went out with my mates. It took a couple of months, but I still went out with my mates. But I used to like drive because I had my car then. I got my licence back for a bit. And I'd drink water and I'd have a ball and I'd come home. But what I miss now about it is it was the clubs. It was going out and having a laugh. There's none
dancing
of that
and
now.
yeah, and
they're all posing gaffs. It's all about drinking now.
Yeah, it's just. But you know what though, Cass? That's what I was going to ask you, because like a lot of people who I know have like stopped drinking and people find it hard around people when they go out and it's just having that, you know, what you just said there, you found it easy to do. Well,
it wasn't easy. I'm not, you know, it wasn't easy, but it wasn't as hard as it is for some people, because they were one of the firm boundaries that I put in. And I still, like, I went out not long ago with my friends to watch my friends sunboxing, and then we went out to celebrate and that. And come 9:30, my mates and that were having a drink. Come 9:30, we went to meet other friends in Matthew Street and reminisce, and it was just super rowdy. And at like 9:30, I went to my mate, I'm going. And my mate walked me to the taxi stand, took a picture of the taxi driver, was like, make sure she gets home.
No, yeah.
And I got a taxi and I went home, and my mates carried on the night and that, and then come home when they come home, and then obviously the next day we kind of like caught up. At the beginning, I still wanted to be doing everything. I still wanted to be out and like involved. FOMO, I had the worst FOMO. I don't have FOMO anymore.
What's FOMO with people?
Fear of missing out on anything.
FOMO.
But now, it's took years, but now I'm at a really good place where, for me, I'm happy in myself. Don't get me wrong, it's dark at times, but I'm happy with myself and I don't miss anything. Because when you're in addiction, you live for the weekend, because that's when all your mates are all working and that. Everyone's off, so you're living for the weekend. So the weekend is massive bank holidays.
It's a blowout, innit?
Bank holidays, like literally I would go out with anyone. I would go anywhere and out with anyone, so that I was just out.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Terrified I was going to miss something. So now for me, weekends are just, it's nothing. It's just Monday through till Sunday.
What do you think, where do you think that comes from, Cassie? Like the FOMO, the fear of missing out. Where do you think that actually comes from?
Because I was so desperate to be loved, so desperate to be liked, so desperate to fit in, so desperate to, like, everyone to just be like, and in reality of it,
Growing up, as what you said in school, but family life, was it one of them where...
Growing up, I've got a sister. She's 10 years older than me, but she moved out when she was 16 and went to university and things like that. And so I kind of grew up as an only child. Fantastic, I got spoiled rotten. My mum and dad had great jobs when, on holidays all over the place. But it was toxic. They drank, they was partying, and is anyone's family really perfect?
Not the fuck, no.
And there was it's only recently where I've got to a point now where there's not that, like, resentment there, because, as hard as it's been for me, they were going through their stuff, and...
That's their way of dealing with it at that time,
was it? Looking back when I was in the madness, I was no better, bringing my kids up at the, in the madness, we all make mistakes, except for I chose to change.
But the thing is, though, Cass, it takes a lot to come to terms with that, because...
Don't get me wrong, there's still days where I'm just like, I'll
phone
my sister or someone, and I'll just be like...
and look what you're going on about there, where, your parents were probably going through something, so their way of dealing with it was drinking, whatever they were doing and stuff, and it's the same for... I remember my mum loved the bevy and that. Just forgot about all of us. Forgot about us.
It wasn't even about forgetting about them, because I literally got spoiled. It was just like, it was toxic and it was narcissistic. And it's like, I'm super grateful for my mum and dad, because without them, my kids would be in care. Like, genuinely, my kids would have gone into care. And without them, like, and they're fantastic. But... could they have done things differently? Could it have been better? Yeah, of course it could have. I could sit here and go into that, like, but I'm not, because you've got to take a step back and you have got to look at it like, what recovery and healing isn't for the faint-hearted, and it's only the strongest people can do it. And it's the weak people that judge and bring you down and belittle you and things like that.
Or they've got nothing better going on in their lives.
That's not on you.
Yeah, and it's good to have that, that attitude where...
That's only been in the last couple of, like, weeks, months. Genuinely.
Well, like you're saying about your kids, so your relationship, you got into a relationship, you got married, is that right?
I had a relationship, my first proper relationship when I was 15. He was a lot older than me. And... it was dead volatile, and I just wanted to escape. My mum and dad moved in, and when it kind of went pear-shaped, it was just, we ended up having to do like a midnight flit to get away from it type of thing, because it was just a nightmare. And then I literally met my ex-husband on my 17th birthday in the Paradox.
The Paradox in Aintree.
In the car park, do you want to lift home? And I was like, no, because I didn't like the girls he was with. But yeah, and then, we got together, and it was like volatile from the offset. He was like one of the lads. He was like you know, back then he was gorgeous. Everyone loved him. He drove a Golf. He was like, oh, and he wanted me. Do you know what I mean? Little old like me. It's own, you know, I never thought I am beautiful. I'm a beautiful woman, but I can say that now, and I'm not saying it arrogantly. I'm saying it because I've done the work on myself. Do you know what I mean? And
you found yourself.
Beauty
Yeah.
comes from within, because I've looked like this forever. It just, you know, obviously I've just had long hair, changed it and things like that, but I've looked like this forever. So it was quite crap from the offset, but I was just so grateful that he wanted me, and I put up with a lot. And it was at the end when I finally left him. It was vile, and I was absolutely broken, and the kids seen and went through things that, you know, I wouldn't change anything that I've done. I don't regret anything, because you can't just change one thing because of the ripple effect. Changing one thing. If I'd said I never wanted to have met my ex-husband, I would have never had the kids.
Yeah.
So I've got no regrets.
Out of that situation, should I say, it's like
The boys
of you got your
the
beautiful
boys.
boys. You
That
know
is
what I mean?
it.
And it's sad to hear, you know, you had to go through that and stuff, and domestic violence and stuff like that. And
Like he's still dead bitter now. We've not been together for about 10 years, I think. Doesn't see the kids contribute or not, and he'll message the kids every now and again. He does it like, tell your mum to change her name. She's not a Williamson, because I kept my maiden name, because the kids, when we split up, I asked the kids, would you want to go back to my name before I got married?
Yeah.
And they said no, because their name's Willow at the end. So I kept it, and I thought, once the kids are 18, or I get married, I'm keeping the same name as my kids. And it's like, he doesn't message going, how are you, this, that and the other. It's like, hey mum. And it's just like, oh, go away.
You just want to, yeah. So
but he lived rent-free in my head for years and years.
And would you just get divorced in the end and stuff?
Yeah. And it was a long, hard, my hair fell out, you know, it was absolutely just, I spent about 2 years weekly in court over everything, even to the point where he sold the house for exactly what he needed to, so that we both walked away with nothing. And I didn't even want anything, and then it was, you're not getting no money for the kids, because if I give you money for the kids, you're going to go out gallivanting. But I was already out gallivanting with my, like, what I had. I didn't need his money. Yeah. It was support your children, because no matter what and how low I've been sectioned and everything, my kids have never gone without anything.
Did it send you to that? Did it send you to that?
Other things came, like there's been other little things that have come in that have like been absolutely catastrophic, and one of them, which I haven't even touched on because I haven't even kind of worked through it, led me to getting sections. And then, you know, I was going through other things. I've drove my car into the wall. I haven't got that's why I lost my licence. My mum's had to drive up to the Lake District. I was away with the kids because I got rotten and went mad in the caravan and started trying to slit my wrist. And I woke up the next morning and I was like, why are we home? And the kids were like, are you messing? Like, they drove home from the lakes with me, sat on me because I was trying to get out the car on the motorway. And I was like, not oblivious, like, didn't have a clue.
Yeah.
Till I woke up the next morning and things like that.
So Cass, there's been an influx of lots of things gone on, not just, you know, your relationship breakdown and stuff like that, and the domestic violence and stuff, and there was other stuff as well.
Yeah.
That, you know, that played its part, but obviously for yourself, for you to try and take your own life, and, you know, and you know, your kids, and you must have been fucking low, you know what I mean?
Do you know what it is? Because I know now it's me ADHD, and I overthink, and you procrastinate, and as much as you try and change what people have said to you since you can remember, you know, it's hard to change that. So it's kind of like, it's hard sometimes to get out of that mentality. Mm-hmm. That's where, like, the work comes in for me.
So them times when, you know, your mum's at the phone call, the kids, it's, you know, trying to look after you and get, you know, well, are looking after you, you know, and when you've come round and you're thinking, fucking hell, you know, was that just like, you just didn't want to be here no more? Was that like for you?
I just wanted it to stop, because I was so broken and in so much pain, and have been at times, that for me, I thought that not being here would stop the noise in my head, but it would let my family and my children lead a normal, productive life. But knowing now and being in like rooms, you know, in like recovery rooms and that, and listening to people whose parents have committed suicide, it leaves a worse imprint than...
Well, that's what I was going to say to you. You know what you're doing now. But when you're at that point or whatever, and you're thinking, I just want this to stop. But I think with your kids, with the boys and stuff like that, and your mum, your dad, and friends as well, if they'd rather you fucking being here than not being here. I know.
When
at
I got
the time,
sectioned, my sister, my mum come and took me to my sister's because she had the kids and didn't know what to do, and my sister had kids at the time, and my mum took her kids, and my sister sat with me, and then the next day took me to the doctors, and the doctor sent me straight to the hospital, and then we spent hours in the hospital in this room with mirrors everywhere that I couldn't see them, but they could see me, because I was literally like liability, like
possessed, like
if you left me, like I was doing it, end of. And then I think it was like midnight, we got the call that I'd finally got a place in Clockview, and my sister took me down there, and I walked in and it was nuts, and I turned around to my sister and I begged her, I was like, please, and she was crying her eyes out.
So we got to do this.
Yeah. But I went in there and I still weren't ready. So I went in there and I was giving everyone curly blows, pretending that it was all right. It was just like as soon as I was allowed to. Even when we go for walks, you had to go for walks like with them over to the park and that. I used to go because no one knew at the time what was going on, because I was living Instagram versus reality. So everyone thought I was away on holiday and I had no phone. When we had to go for walks, I'd make one of the people in there give me the lanyard and take the thing out so that if anyone seen me walking down by Rice Lane, they'd think I was one of the workers and not actually in there, because I was stuck in my ego and my pride, and I didn't want anyone to know that I was suffering, because on social media and that, listen, I was flying. But inside, I was absolutely broken, dead, and like a bad apple.
And obviously your ego, you didn't, of course.
Ego's massive.
So obviously you're fucking struggling, you're in a bad place.
But you're also trying to pretend that you're not. You're trying to fool the doctors, and I did it, to be fair, give everyone on the wall curly blue.
But you know what, there's so many people, Cassie, what you're saying, do that. Yeah. They portray that everything's all right.
I even left, and about 3 days later took 2 big massive suitcases in for all the girls with all clobber and everything for them, like he's all right and everything. I was absolutely broken, but I didn't want anyone to know that I was broken, because at that time I had a persona to put out there, and I thought everyone was like, oh, Cassie's amazing, this, that, oh my God, everyone talked about me. There's things that my mum say, there's them things when like your parents say things and you think, oh, shut up, like, oh my God, it's like Blackpool illuminations in here, all the lights are on. I said it not long ago to my youngest and done a video, and I was like, smashed it. But it's like my mum said to me, your friends aren't laughing with you, they're laughing at you. And I used to go, they're not. Because I'd be that person we'd be in a party and someone would go, do you reckon you could ride down the stairs on a bike? And I'd go, I'm going to do it. And let's video and put it on my social media because it's going to look dead cool. No.
They're laughing at you.
They're laughing at me. I was talked about by everyone for all the wrong reasons. I had loads of smear campaigns all over my social media loads of times where, it fell out with people and people, And now when I look at it, it was because I was a threat, but I didn't realise I was a threat. But I was just being me. And for some people, I've always been in the light, and people like vampires, emotional vampires and that, they want you in the dark, don't they?
You just want, like, Cass, this is what annoys me about things like that, is where I like to see anyone do well.
It's like them people who say like the holy above holy, like secret slags, and they're a slag, just own it. Be careful, don't carry on with anyone and don't wreck anyone's family, but own it. You're only having sex, don't be a secret one. But like everyone does it.
People, and people in glass houses, this is the thing. Remember you'd say that, people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones and that, but I think people, envying people who were trying to do better, trying to be better than the person he was yesterday.
I just don't even think it's envying. I think it's people just don't want to see anyone doing better than them, but they're people stuck in their ego and their own trauma, and they're the ones who are weak. They're the weak ones. Because I think it's something like only 2% of people in addiction actually recover. Because putting the ale down for me was easy. It's been the last 2.5 years dredging through what made me drink, the trials and tribulations, the trauma, the shame, the guilt. The mum guilt is absolutely unbelievable.
But you know what, Cassie, you're not, and I'm gonna say this to you because, yeah, you have had your dark days and stuff like that. You're not the only one who's, listen, there's times when, I've been, I've let my kids down, do you know what I mean? There's many mums and dads out there. There's not just, you know what I mean? And you've got to, being a bit too, on yourself,
it's hard,
you know what I mean?
isn't it, when people aren't honest, and when all the people I follow were like toxic, and it was all people about, bigger boobs, bigger lips, better this, want this, da-da-da. So that's kind of like the environment that you're in, so that's kind of like normal. I don't follow anyone like that now. I follow people that inspire me.
Or positive.
Yeah, I follow people that are raw people, and if you resonate with someone, it does magical things, like, people empowering people and showing people the struggles, mental health and recovery, and that is like, people are trying to say it's acceptable. It's still not acceptable. There's still a massive stigma around it. People still don't talk. People still don't want, there's so many people that are, in people's lives that are hugging them and stabbing them in the back. People are terrified of letting people actually see what's going on. But I love, and I don't know whether it's because anyone who ruffles my feathers or does anything now, I just instantly block them. I just think I haven't got time for that.
Take on that. I don't want to engage in that.
So I just follow motivational people and people who inspire me and people who have a story. So that's all kind of what I see. So then it's the ripple effect. It helps me, and then, I'll be doing something and I'll be talking about something that I wouldn't have necessarily talked about because I'll watch something that someone else, and it'll just come into my head with me ADHD, and I talk about it. And I've got thousands of videos that I haven't uploaded, but the majority of them I do. And what I do is I do one video, one take, only every now and again if I'll do it a second take, but I'll do the funny one where I mess up. But it's always one take, and I don't watch it. I put it on me CapCut to edit it. CapCut to edit it and to put my little thing on the end, and then I download it on my TikTok, and then I put it on my Instagram, and it goes on my Facebook, and then I watch it. And then I learn. I was watching something last night, someone commented on a post from a couple of months ago, so obviously I went on to say, like, thank you. And I ended up just watching. I was crying my eyes out, and I was like, looking at me going, I am fucking incredibly proud of that woman I'm looking at right now. But that's me.
Yeah.
That's me. And there's nothing in the past. There is points, but like in the addiction, there was nothing where now I've got things hidden in my archive, because when I started my sober journey, I deleted everything on my social. I went back and started afresh as like, this is my last pointless 3-day bender, and I'm hanged. Because then I was in my ego, and I thought, if I put it on my social media, I'm going to have to stick by this now, because everyone's going to be talking about me, and I'm not having everyone talking about me. And that's why I'm so open and honest, and I put so many videos up, and sometimes I put videos up and people go, you shouldn't have even put that up, and I think, well,
but that's you. That where at the end of the day, people can have an opinion, fair enough, but that's you, Cass.
Opinions are like arseholes. Everyone's got one. Doesn't mean that you want to see it.
Yeah, exactly. This is it. You know what I mean? But now then, everyone, sorry for interrupting this episode. Here's a message from our sponsor, Super Resin. They are specialists in resin driveways and flooring across North Wales and the North West. Whether it's a driveway, worktop or flooring, they've got you covered. For 10% off, use the code TGTBTU. Now let's get back to the episode. What I want to get into, Cass, because obviously speaking about your addiction and stuff like that, and what you've been through, it's the 1% Club. What inspired you, and what was the pivotal moment for you?
So I had a really bad breakup that absolutely broke me as a person last year, with someone that I thought the universe had given me a solid, and this was going to be my forever, and I got broken, and I didn't want to be in the crisis team when one came out, and I was telling her like what I'd done about last year I became a runner. I went from not running, February running a 5k to October running an ultra marathon across the country. I had 3 toenails left by the end of it. But I owe everything that I do, I put 100, because I've got ADHD.
You're all in or not?
Oh yeah, in for a penny, in for a pound. And she went, well, instead of giving it 100%, 1%, she went, so today, just have a shower, because I hadn't had a shower for about a week. Tomorrow, have a shower and have something to eat. She wanted just 1%. And it was like, my mate was sat facing me. And it was literally like a light bulb moment in my head. And I was like, and I come on, and it was one day I was riddled in anxiety and I couldn't even go to the toilet. Like, I was popping pro panel on like they were Maltesers, like that. And I put a thing on and I was sweating and I was shaking and I was like, I can't even go to the toilet, but this is going to be my 1% for today, going to that toilet, and that is it. And it just kind of like spiraled from there. And then the not and changes of not and changes has come from what I've been saying for years. And then it was get up, get out, get at them, because not and changes of not and changes. And then I thought I had Willow because of the boys, and then love because I've had to learn to absolutely unconditionally love me, every single part of me, even the bits that I absolutely detest. Well, I don't detest them, I love them. I'm learning to love them. So yeah, and then it was like I needed the Willow love. I was like, I wanted to. If I'm being totally honest, I've never told anyone this before, but fuck it. If I'm being totally honest with you, right, I used to do something on a Sunday at 9:30, and that was my end to the week, and like I needed that. That was like, that got me through like a really big bit of my recovery. And obviously when I split from my ex, I couldn't do it anymore, because that was to do with him, and I wouldn't go down there. And it was for spite. I thought, right, I'm going to do my own. I was already doing like litter dips, and I did me walks and like dips down across the marina and stuff. And I thought, right, I'm going to get one over on you. I'm going to do one on a Sunday at 9:30 in Crosby Marina. Do you know what I mean? Because back then I was just like, I was so angry and I was so hurt, and I didn't want to go on my social media and rant and rave, because that's what the old me wanted to do. So I'd be in my group chat with my mates and I'd be going, and then I'd go, I'll be back now, and then I'd go, evening guys, it's gratitude time. And then I'd come back off again and I'd go to my mates, because I thought, I'm not going about this how everyone thinks I'm going to go about it. This is my time to shine, type of thing. Yeah. And I thought, no one's even going to turn up. And it was just... And then my friends gave me a voucher to give away, to raffle off, to give back to the community. And now I have got vouchers, gifts and everything coming out in my ears. And I'll be giving, I give raffle prizes away, and I give like positivity cards, and we do, you know, we've done egg hunts, we've done a Mother's Day, 17 people got Mother's Day presents on Mother's Day, and people are constantly giving me things, and I'm able to give back to the community. But
what if people who are watching and listening, what is the 1% Club? What is it?
So the 1% Club is a movement, and I'm going to take over Liverpool. It's a walk, talk and a dip on a Sunday down at Crosby Marina, and it starts at 9:30. We meet.
Is it every Sunday?
Yeah. I've had a couple of weeks off because I've had to just take a step back, because I've got loads going on, and I keep getting a little bit of a thing and then breaking, and it's because I'm not putting my private life in order. So I'm taking a step back for the rest of this week, and then as of next week it resumes, and there's amazing things happening. But it's every Sunday, 9:30, Crosby Marina. We meet outside the lake house in the hut, and we're there till about 10, 10:30, depending on how
male, female,
yeah, kids, dogs, anyone can come. Your nans, your uncles, you know, your uncles and aunties that aren't your aunties and uncles, because everyone in Liverpool
got one of them.
has got an auntie and uncle. That's not, but it's like it's a non-inclusive club. Anyone's welcome. There's no judgment.
It's free.
Yeah, and it's free, and we stay there till about 10:30, and I've got colouring books and that when the summer comes in for the kids and things to do, and then we have a raffle, and then we do a little positivity cards that have been given, and everyone reads them, and then we walk around to the marina at the top, and we do a little 3-minute dip, and then we have a little dance, and we have a chill, and then we walk back.
What was it like, Cassie, when the first time, and like you'd reached out on socials and stuff, and when them people turned up, how did that make you feel? I
was like, it blew me away. I cried my eyes out.
I was going to say,
I'm not messing. I cry my eyes out most Sundays when I get home. It blows me away. It blows me away, especially when I've gone through quite a few things. There's been quite a few setbacks, and you know, things I've had to kind of iron out and things, because it's all new to me. So when something goes on, or you know, something's in the grapevine, that Sunday I'm always panicking. Oh, what have I done? you know, sometimes the most we've had up to now is like nearly 50, and then sometimes we've only had 4 or 5. But for me, it's not about the numbers, because I don't care how many people turn up, because I'm not doing it. I am doing it obviously to help the community, but Sundays for me, I end my week on a high with whoever turns up in my favourite place that got me sober. I've spent the last 5 years since I started doing cold water dipping at the Marina. It's one of my favourite places. I've done litter dips and everything there. Like, I absolutely love it. So for me, but whoever turns up on that Sunday, however many people it is, I always say to people, I'm not asked how many and the numbers, because whoever turns up needed that this Sunday. And that's all that matters to me. Whether it's 1, whether it's 5, whether it's 50, whether it's 500, or whether it's 5,000. Whoever turns up each Sunday needed to be there and leaves positive. I was there the last time we were there on the Sunday. I absolutely broke my heart crying to the people, to like the group that was there, like absolutely bawled my eyes out, because I kind of went there through gritted teeth, because I knew I needed it, but I couldn't put that.
The way you were feeling as well.
I don't put that facade on and that to them who come down there, because they're coming down because they're struggling, and I want them to see that it's okay to not be okay. I want them to see that the people that come down there won't judge you. I want them to see that we will support you no matter what. And everything that you're probably sitting in, the guilt and the shame of, or the fear and the anxiety, one of us has done it probably well better than you. Do you know what I mean?
You have lived it, so coming along and getting someone out of the comfort zone, because it's very daunting sometimes, you know, like it's like anything when you're going somewhere or whatever, but people who've been through that and the life experience that they, you know.
I've met people who've been too scared to come down and gone out for the day with them. I go, have you got a car? And they go, yeah. And I go, okay, here's my address, come and pick me up. Let's go to Mill. Or let's go to the beach. Mill's one of my other favourite ones.
The waterfall,
because it's secluded.
Yeah.
So you can just go there, and if there's dipping groups there, because it's got it's got a community in that, they do their dip and get out, and then you can chill there.
And
but then
you always see people talking as well, and it's you know what?
Plus, you can sit in the car park. They've got the little stream with all the things and have something to eat and things like that. But I do it all the time. I'll go meet people outside of the community. There's something that I'm hoping to set up with a local cafe by mine, where I'm going to do. I am doing a coffee morning, and they've agreed to do a hot drink and a slice of cake for like a discounted price, and I'm going to go in there with people, and I'll be there for a certain time, and if you want to come down and see me and, you know, catch up, and come down.
But you know what, it's that's that thing, no, Cassie, where you know you can see that you're a caring person, considering what you've gone through in your life.
I never want anyone to feel how I've been made to feel.
Yeah, you know.
No one's better than anyone else. Everyone's shit smells the same, and you are getting buried in the same size hole as the Queen, and you can't take fuck all with you. So suck it up, son, and move on.
No, you're right though. That's exactly right. I always say nobody is.
I always thought
don't
I
forget
was
where
better
you
than
come
everyone
from.
else.
It does annoy me, because like it doesn't matter how
what
you're dressed and what you drive.
I would still buy £6 dresses in the charity shop and £1.50 second-hand shoes.
I'd probably still have a pair of Nike here, a wish they wear, you know what I mean? But listen. I just always say, look, no one's better than anyone, and you know, we're all the same, do you know what I mean? And some people are a little bit more successful than others, but don't look down on people and think you're better than them, and don't put people down.
Because you're lowering your vibration, and all that's coming in is shit. You're never gonna level up when you're secretly hating on everyone, because your vibration's low. I know, I've been there. I was jealous, and I hated everyone, and I wanted everything that everyone else had, and I wanted it better than they were, because I was better than they were, and in reality I wasn't. I was absolutely lost.
It takes a lot for you to open up like that, Cassie, because there's a lot of people out there who exactly what you just described, and it's like you say, it's not a nice thing to be, you know, where you think you've got to work on yourself, and you.
I don't think you'd ever hit rock bottom and that's the end. I think you'd hit rock bottom, and then there's another rock bottom. And I think it's people that have gone through it that, you know, you have to get to that. You have to get to that last rock bottom where enough is enough, and until you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, you will continue doing what you're doing. And for me, I just got sick and tired of being sick. I couldn't do it anymore.
That's it. What's the most positive thing, the most powerful thing you've seen at the 1% Club with someone who's attended?
There's loads.
Loads of...
Yeah, because I can't just say like one person, there's loads. One of them, Rob, celebrated 4.5 years clean. You know, my other friend Alan has set up a brand. There's so many amazing things.
Achievements
yeah,
and stuff
there's
like
a 15-year-old Charlotte, absolutely love her to bitch, like, honest to God, she is just like, and yeah, there's so many. Brian from the outreach, you know, Robin.
There's a list about that.
There is, that, you know, there's so many fantastic things, pivotal moments, and things where I'm proud to go, you're my mate. You're my mate. Do you know what I mean? And I am fucking proud of you. And I'm proud of you when you fuck up as well. Because you've got to fuck up to level up.
Of course you have, yeah. It's not all hunky-dory, is it? You know what I mean?
No. And that's why my recovery was always ropey, and it took me till I was 38 to get it right, is because you're always looking at everyone else and going, why aren't I where they are? They're only 7 months sober and I'm 4 months sober. They're flying, or we're both like 6 months sober. Why are they doing this better than me? And then what is happening is you're setting a standard that you can't keep to, end off, and you're going to fail. Going to fail. And I just had to kind of, you know, when I stopped drinking, I just kind of had to like go to the point where like I've just got to roll. You've got to roll with the punches, end of. And sometimes they suck a puncher.
Of course they do. You know, there's like obviously a lot of people who you mentioned it, but is there any moments that you thought, do you know what, this is why I do the 1% club? I mean, is the one that sticks out where you think, or are you just proud of everyone who
yeah, I am. I'm proud of everyone. One of the really great ones that we did was, I think it was Easter. Yeah, it was Easter Sunday, and there's a picture. There was a picture on my profile, and we're all in the middle of the marina, and it's dead hot, and I've got my little bunny rabbit ears on, and we're all oils and like hugging each other, and we're like that, and I'm just like, yeah, like I've created this, and look at these people, like, you know. People come absolutely broken, and to see how far that they've come is just absolutely like phenomenal. I've seen
different issues as well, Cassie, isn't
coming out of the shells, like
don't even come out the house and stuff.
Yeah,
people with drink and drug and
there's like
it's endless.
Everything, and
it's all confident, you know what I mean? It's
nothing goes any further, and people go to me all the time, don't say nothing to anyone. I go, I know, but I've got like 5 mates that I actually talk to who wouldn't even be asking me. We've got more important things in the 5 people that I would, you know, who would talk to on the daily than me going and talking about what you've done. Because who am I to talk about anyone? Because there's people still sitting in rooms and sitting at tables talking about a version of me from years ago that doesn't even exist anymore, because they no longer sit at the top table. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're looking in from the outside, still talking about stuff that happened years ago.
Just get it gone. That's gone. See you later.
That's gone. Thanks for letting me live in your brain rent free. I know what it's like, but like, move on.
Yeah.
Move on.
You know, you emphasise changes if nothing changes.
Yeah, it's there. I went out for breakfast one morning with my mates and ended up going and getting tattooed. They was like, let's go get a tattoo.
How do you help people take that first small step, whether it's baby steps or dipping the toe in?
The first small step is showing up for yourself. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
Yeah.
I say to people all the time, I can't make you do anything. The first step is showing up for yourself. And when someone shows up for themselves, that's someone wanting to change.
Do you know when people turn up? My mate started a group, Thrive, a men's mental health group.
Bri,
yeah. Bri Crane.
I love Bri.
Bri's spot on, Brian. He's a great lad, and I remember going on the walks and all that. Not that I was...
I've done a few walks. We've done the Buckstone one when we were all the mixed one and things like that.
And do you know what? I remember, like, and I went and I just... Not that I was struggling or anything. I was just fucking joker. Do you know what I mean? Having a laugh with it. And people opening up and stuff like that. And it opened my eyes, Cassie, to... When people turn up, and like this lad turned up, and I didn't know him from Adam or Eve, do you know what I mean? And he opened up to me, and I'll never forget it. And I was like, fucking hell.
That's like, because...
I was like, wow, what he opened, like, I didn't know him. He just sort of latched onto me, and I was like, all right, lad, you know, right?
Sometimes it's easy talking to a stranger, and with the likes of Thrive and what I've got in other communities that I know, that I go
There's many out there, like...
If you create a safe environment for people where they come and the nervous system just goes, they will talk to you. They will talk to you because they're there, because they want to be there to talk to you.
It's making that first step, isn't it?
Yeah. Them showing up even if you show up and you don't say nothing kind of thing, them showing up shows that they want to change. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what I'm going to go back to Bri because there's a lad on in Bri's group and they've just made a documentary on it. We went to the premiere and a lad turned up, right? They didn't know him, turned up with his dad and he worked for Sky Sports, right? And what happened, he went on the walk and he was blown away by this movement that whatever it had been created, and he was like, fucking hell. Went back and this lad sort of for the next 18 months, 2 years, filmed as long as everyone was happy being filmed and stuff like that. And we went and watched that. My missus
I seen it.
And you know what, Cassie, it was unbelievable. And I was like, lads opening up,
I'm dying to come over here and do the hub and that, but I don't drive and it's an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, it's a nightmare to get to Surrey Runny, but it's what he's created and obviously what you're creating, it's a space for people to feel comfortable.
I've done loads of the Thrive walks and I done the one with triple three, is it? When he's done the music video.
Oh, yeah.
And we were
with
all
Tom and
Tom and
Sophie.
And we were stood there. I can't remember where it was, and it was absolutely pissing down. We were all drowned rat, and I mean drowned rat. And we were all stood around, and we'd done the video and things like that. But then we were stood in front of the lake, and there was mountains in front of us, and
you got the shot of it and that.
It was all dead still and it was dead quiet and a mist had fell, and Brian said to everyone, close your eyes, and he put this, I've got it saved in me tracks, he put this motivational thing on in the background and this fella was talking. I absolutely bawled my eyes out. I was unconsolable at the end of it, and Kerry, one of my friends who was there, gave me a massive hug, and it was at that point where I was what got me so upset and what I loved about it was when I opened my eyes, and then obviously I'd just listened to what was getting said in the background, what the view that I could see was a picture on Instagram that I'd liked round the bend or on a come down in bed years before, I'd love to do that. And I was stood there and I was them seconds before you die and your life flashes before your eyes, some of the things and some of the places I've been and the things I've done since I got sober and I will continue to do, that moment or them seconds that I cannot, it's going to be amazing, there's going to be no regret. I was there when my nan was dying, she used to cry out to God or whoever, I'm so sorry, I wish I'd have done this, why didn't I do this, I should have said this to this person, I wish I had time to make amends. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that scared to die, which I've been my whole life. I'm not scared to die because it's just as beautiful as being alive, because when I was in addiction, I was already dead. I was dead, walking dead. Every single day. That's
the way you look at it, but
yeah.
But saying with the groups and stuff like that, it's unbelievable what you've created, and obviously what Brian and I think there's a few others like Mark Scano and all that. And it's
just done the digital detox with Mark Scano. If you can see this, I've still got my sticker on where my phone. we have to put our phones away.
But you know what though, and it's good that it's unbelievable what people create. And hiya everyone, sorry to interrupt this episode, but here's a quick one from me. If you're enjoying the podcast and you enjoy what we're doing, you can now buy us a coffee. It's a simple way to keep those stories coming. No subscription, just that one-off bit of support. The link's in the description. Now back to the episode. And it does save people's lives, Cassie.
Especially men, more so than women. Because I will gas to the...
Women, listen, women are a lot more... I always say, I've said this on the past couple of episodes, I think women are a lot more clued up, or
it's not that we're clued up, we're just emotional and we just want to talk.
You talk and stuff like that, but we're men, I think, we're a little bit more, the blasé, macho, you put a mask on.
You're not going to go sit in the pub with your mates knowing that you're in addiction and knowing that, if you can't just have a few lines like your mate, you're going to be on a 3-day bender in £1,000 worth of on death's door.
And listen,
you're not going to sit there and go to your mate, hey, so... I think I've got a bit of a problem there, I've done this and I've done that. For men, you're not going to do that. You're really not.
And I think with that though, it's and Cassie, what you've just said here, that goes on every day or every week. Like you're saying, living for the weekend. We've had people come on here who've had major drug problems, just fucking like, you know, just didn't know when to stop.
I was going to meetings, get me 30 days sober keyring. And I'd have like a can of Cosmo on the way there from Marks and Spencer's, or I'd have a can of Coke walking there with like vodka and that in it. I'd go to the kids, I'd come home and go, I'm 30 days sober, and they'd be like, oh. And I'd go, don't drink that can of Coke there on the side, I've got a cold sore. No, because I'd have vodka in it. Because if I had it in a glass with ice, the kids would know I was drinking. I used to drive around in the car with cans of like, you know, cocktails, with, like I was drinking an energy drink. Like, busy's just going to think, do you know what I mean? Like, it's that's where addiction takes you. There's
that what it was, that
ifs, buts and maybes, do you know what I mean? That's where it takes you when you are, I was that caught up in it.
Did you just not want it to stop, Cassie?
No, and I was in a relationship with someone and we were engaged, and like I thought, I thought, you know, this was going to be our perfect family, and we got, we took his little son on full time and all that, and I was like, yeah, and he was an absolute liability and carried on. And it broke me. And for the first, we were supposed to go away on holiday, and I never ended up going because we broke up. And the only reason I found out was because he put a picture up on my birthday and tagged the girl he'd been carrying on with. Do you know what I mean? And that's how I found out, because my mate phoned me on my birthday to tell me. And I went on a few little tiny mad ones, and I thought, and I missed my probation. I was going to go back to court. I could have gone to jail. Life was a mess. I hadn't even been to bed after another pointless 3-day bender. And I was like, and I just come home, got a shower, and I put a post up, and I thought, right, that is it. I am absolutely sick and tired now. I'm done.
You're done.
Yeah, but I had to get to that point.
Do you know, like you say, it's like them benders, and you know, we've all fucking named it and stuff, and it's like, when you're at that point of where you've had so much go on in your life, and then you're thinking, that'll take the pain away and you'll just fucking forget everything. And it's plus, there 10 times worse the next day, innit?
After I left my ex-husband, because we were together for like the best part of my life type of thing, I went into other narcissistic toxic relationships, and then I went into relationships with other addicts, whether it be sex, drugs, porn, gambling, shop, robbing, whatever, because then they couldn't moan at me for having a drinking problem. Hang on a minute, I've had 2 bottles of wine, you've had 3 for 50. Hush your gums.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You crack on and I'm going to crack on, type of thing. So everything in my environment was toxic.
It was just around you.
And the minute I stopped drinking, I deleted everyone, changed my number, I moved. Like, well, I never moved, but like, I kind of like...
How hard was that, Cassie?
Disgusting.
Was it so hard for everything that something that you'd done for so long, and people that you'd known for, that must have fucking killed it. Want to
be loved. Like, the hardest thing that anyone can ever do is learn to love themselves, and I'm not there yet, and I probably don't know whether I will ever be there. Does anyone absolutely just fully love themselves? You've always got, there's always things that you can work on. I just wanted to be loved, genuinely just wanted to be loved. And so to kind of walk away from something that you've spent your whole life doing, to kind of being on your own and trying to find new friends and
making massive changes.
But you're also trying to not be that person anymore. And I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what music I liked. I was sorting my clothes out the other day, and I'm a hoarder, and I've got clothes since before I had kids, and I won't give them away. I'll probably never wear them, but it's just I just love them. You can see through my clothes how I felt about myself, because at one point when my self-esteem was on its arse, I was going out in little tiny dresses, going there, that little tiny dress, tie boots on up to the ear, long hair, 3 rows of extensions, big massive Amy Winehouse, eyelashes, big long nails, prim and proper, looking down my nose at everyone type of thing. So to bring it all back to basics, it was hard. And then obviously when I shaved my hair off not long ago, that for me was the final, there's no more masks anymore. I can't hide behind any, and this is who I am. You will meet Cassie on Cassie's terms of this is who I am. I still don't know who I am every single day. It's absolutely fantastic that every single day, even on my bad days, I get up and I meet a new version of me. I like new foods, you know, I've got new friends, I talk differently, I carry myself differently, I dress differently, you know, everything's different. I went to the opera last year, I've always wanted to go to the opera. I went to see I can't think how you say his name, and in the orchestra and things like that. You know, I love classical music. I go to church. Went to the Brave Art Conference, which is a women's church conference, which is run by Emma from Liverpool One Church. Like, honestly,
massive changes.
Massive. And sometimes I get it right, and sometimes I get it wrong. Do you know what I mean? But
listen, we're all human.
Since I stopped drinking every single day, I strive to be a better person than I was yesterday.
Exactly.
And the best version of myself. And I can't do anything else. Do you know what I mean?
Well, listen, that, you know, what you're saying there, considering you've made massive changes, and when people watch this and listen to it, it's making that first step and making that change. Because listen, you know, a lot of us, we've all done it where, like, we partied and stuff like that, and it gets to a point where enough's enough, and you've got to make that change for yourself.
You've got to show up for yourself. It's not about saying, I'm a this, I'm an addict, I'm a whatever, I'm a this, that and the other.
There's only you that can change
You're
it.
labelling yourself because people have labelled you your whole life. You need to fuck the labels off, fuck it off and start again. Scrap it, throw them all in the bin, start again. You need to just show up for you.
Yeah.
As you, unapologetically you. I said it the first time. You, though, you have to. And people will have to take you as who you are, and if they can't, then you're not your people. And sometimes it's been a hard pill to swallow because I've lost people along the way on this journey that I thought I'd have in my life forever. But
that's
every door that closed,
another one opens.
Oh wow, the door that opens me. Listen, I came out of the depths of darkness. I was on the crisis team. I was literally ready to end it the other day, and the next morning I'm walking around the park and get that WhatsApp from you. Literally, I nearly shit myself. I was like, that's Rob. Do you know what I mean? It's that quick.
Do you know what? Like, just hearing that, Cassie, it's like it what's names me, because, like, you know, you're one of them. You're raw. You're real. You don't.
I can't lie.
No,
my ADHD, I haven't got, my brain works that fast now that I haven't got time to not tell you the truth.
It's not scripted with you, do you know what I mean?
Because you'll catch me out the next time.
Exactly, and you're not like one of these with all your...
I done a video this morning to say I was coming in and called you Lee. I was convinced your name was Lee, and I don't know why.
I've been called many things.
I don't know why, and I was like, where did I even get Lee from? Like, do you know what I mean? It's like silly things like that. I should write things down at events, but I like to play that can I remember game.
Do you know what? It's like you just said there, you were in a feeling in a low place, bad place, and it's to say, look, I didn't want to be. And then obviously when I WhatsApped you the other day, because we were going to do this later, and we thought, right, someone...
I'd forgot about it, if I'm being totally honest.
So you would have named it off us anyways, you know what I mean? But hearing that, saying it made you feel that, you know, for me, this is why we do this podcast, because we love hearing real people with real stories, and to what you've been explaining to us so far is like, it's heavy. It's what, you know, people unfortunately go through what you've gone through, but you've been to the depths of, like, you didn't want to be here, but you are here. But the reason I'm here is because of following the likes of people like you and watching, and, you know, follow most of the people that you've had on the podcast. It's following them types of people. You surround yourself with greatness and great things happen, and it's as plain as simple as that, you know. And people, you know, inspire people. Women empower women who empower other women. People run up to me in town. I've been in town and someone's gone, oh, Cassie. Someone come not long ago and walked around the corner and absolutely bawled her eyes. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I met you. You're such an inspiration. I'm like, I'm a fucking king. But you know what, Cass? You've got to take you've got to be proud of yourself. But you know what? That, you know, for people recognising you, and because at the end of the day, they could have been sat in a kitchen the week before, the fucking, you know, on a bad come down.
Listen, everything I'm doing now is I've chatted shit in a kitchen at 4 o'clock in the morning, because what's happened is subconsciously, my whole life chatting shit and all that, you've subconsciously wired your brain, but you've just not been in an environment to move it forward. So it was already
there.
In
that rut
so now it's just I haven't got that dead weight there, and everything that I've subconsciously said you know, I said when I first got sober, I'm destined for greatness.
look,
my mum flipped on me one day and went, "You know, just get on with it. How long are you going to be working on yourself?" And I was like, "Whatever." And I'm destined for greatness, as in the sense of what I'm doing is greatness. It takes greatness to be able to share what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the faint-hearted to share what I'm doing, you know, especially because I've got kids and people know who I am and things like that. Like, what I'm sharing is things that people are hiding and sugarcoating.
And what I'm dealing with every day as
Yeah.
well. And you know, like the 1% club and stuff like that is what you know, it's completely free and stuff. It has its challenges, like hardest part logistics and funding, because it's all, you know, I know a lot of people.
I'm quite lucky at the moment as to why I'm still quite small, because I do that on a Sunday and then I have a walk and a run group on a Wednesday at 6:30 and we meet at the lake view thing in Nugent Park, and it's only quite small at the minute because there is no funding, because I don't want to go down any money side of things at the moment, because I'm not even in the mindset to do it. I'm happy at the moment just being able to offer things for free, and every time someone sends me something and gifts me things to give back to the community, I get sent things that are for me, and I put a post up and go, "It's gifted for you, like for the community," and people go, "I give that for you," and I go, "No, but I don't need it, but I'll give it to someone else in the community." I love giving back, and it gives someone a little bit of a pick-me-up. Do you know what I mean? Mother's Day. That
little thing.
One of the mums on Mother's Day, it was her first Mother's Day as a mum, and she never got nothing, and she doesn't speak to the family, and she won a big, massive bouquet that had been donated by Ruby Roses, my friend's daughter. And she cried her eyes out and she was made up, and that made her Mother's Day, because her baby's only a newborn and she never got nothing on Mother's Day. That's a fucking pinnacle point, that. I've had Mother's Day where I haven't had things like that, where my kids haven't been talking to me. My lad was 18 the other day. That's probably why I was as bad as I was the other week. And I didn't see him because we've had murder.
Yeah.
And he's gone again because, you know, I can handle loads of things in my life really calmly, and I can take a step back from it. But when it's my kids and like my mum and dad and that, I can go from 0 to 1,000 in
it's family course,
a second.
And that goes without saying, do you know what I mean? Anything like that, anything else you can...
And I've caused a lot of damage, not all of the damage, but I've caused a lot of damage towards my children, and it's going to take years probably. I thought when I got sober the kids would be back within 6 months playing Happy Family, nearly 3 years sober. It's still an absolute mess, you know. They speak to me as and when, some of them when they want to, and then they're my mate and then they're not.
I just
and
think
it's hard, and I have to just put up with it. And I had to put a boundary in place today, in the fact of, like, I've just said to them, like, I've got to just let you go. Like, every day I'm trying to be the best version, and I'm trying, but I can't, because it's, you know, we're all just, it's killing each other's energy.
Everyone's clashing. Listen,
you know where I am.
The
I
young
absolutely
lads, young
adore,
men aren't, they're nearly young men, aren't they?
Yeah.
And listen, and I think, you know,
and I probably didn't want to admit that, and people probably wouldn't want to admit that, but you know, my public life is public, but my private life, there's parts now where I have to keep it private, because everyone knows me, and because of how big me social media is growing. But I'm also not going to lie to you and go, "Oh, I've got a fantastic relationship with the kids," because they follow me on social media and you just be like, "You're full of shit."
You're lying.
I'm lying, but it's not great. But it will get to a point we've got to heal, and I've got to give them time. They don't understand. And they probably won't. Yeah. I've only understood things in the last couple of weeks. Every time I go through something, I think, "Oh, right, now I understand that." It was only about 5 years ago that I finally, my ex-husband didn't live rent-free in my head. He's absolutely...
That's it now. It's,
like, like the kids say stuff to me and I go, "I don't even want to know." I don't even want to know, I'm not interested. But before that, I'd be like...
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But now you know how to deal with it.
Live rent-free in my head anymore.
And that's how you deal with it. But, you know, Cass, friends call the 1% Club a healing community, not a recovery service. Would you think that's...
I am not a recovery service, and I don't ever want to go down the recovery
route. That's right, you know, that's what I mean.
Because
I'm about to say...
It's so up and down, and then you've got a duty of care, and people, you know, in a group I was in, it was people who relapse and left, right and centre, then you know, and like you're trying to support them, but you're struggling, and that's really triggering. But people are welcome to come down in recovery. But I say to people, I'm not a recovery service. I am not going to save you. You're the only person that can do that. I could literally give you the tools, books,
the advice.
And if you don't want to do it, I might as well just sit there, write it down on a piece of paper and wipe my ass and throw it down the toilet. Do you know what I mean? Because it's worth absolute shit. Yeah. So I'm not a recovery service, and I'm not going to save you. I'm in recovery and I'm healing, and I share what works for me and what doesn't work for me. Because what works for me mightn't necessarily work for someone else, and vice versa type of thing.
But you know, to come along and, you know, and there's other people there that can be, and people become friends through all this as well. So,
like, I'm a cold water facilitator. I've done cold water facilitator training. I've trained to be a lifeguard. I'm training at the moment to be a meditation teacher. I want to move on to do other things. I want to be able to take people out on adventures. I want to be able to go and do like retreats and that. I want to take people out of the familiar into the unfamiliar.
Into the surroundings and
I
stuff
want
like
them
that.
to just be able to find, I know what it's like to be in places and just being sat there like that, and just like, I want people to just come there and I want them to just relax. And although I'm not a recovery service and that, I still want to be able to
do you feel comfortable being...
I still want to be able to know what I'm doing. I still want to be able to
yeah.
guide someone properly. I don't want to tell someone to do something and then, you know, the shit hit the fan, because that's not what it's about for me. Hence why I say about the numbers. I don't care how many people turn up, because whoever comes down because they need to be there. Do you know? And people come once, don't come for ages, and then come back, and then come for a bit and then go. And then there's people who've been there religiously every single week. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've not done it the last couple of weeks, but a couple of them have still gone and met down there and done it themselves. That's the power of community, because even though it's my 1% club and it's my baby, everyone's family. We're the family you get to choose. We're the rejects that everyone gives shit to. We're traumatized up to the eyeballs. We're all on the spectrum. But you know what? We're not the rejects. We're the ones that see.
You're building.
Yeah, we see things, we hear things, we feel things. It's just we get lost along the way. And listen, there's nothing more powerful than being in a community of people who were all working to be a better version of themselves. Like, and you know, being around Brian and in Thrive, because I've been there myself, magic happens. That lad came over and just opened his heart to you. Magic happens when you create those kinds of environments. People are stuck in fight and flight mode in environments that are breaking them or broken them. Your body needs to be in environments where it just goes on.
I can open up here. I feel comfortable here and stuff.
I say things and I go, and people look at me and I go, oh, you know, and things where it shocks me, you know, like stupid things, but people just laugh it off.
Because you know what, that's just you.
Yeah, because there's no malice in it. It's just me being.
But you know what it is though, Cass? I think, you know, you say things before you. But
in the back, and when I say it in the head, I'm going, don't be a dickhead.
But you know what? That's just you. Simple as that. You haven't got a script. Like you say, when you do your videos
Everything
and
I
stuff.
do comes from a place of love.
And it's from the heart as well,
yeah.
you know.
And I just want to see other people succeed. And I want to grow. And listen, I've tried fucking everything. Anything and everything. You know, this works for me. This works for me, being around
bumps in the roads and stuff like that. But have you ever had any thoughts? Obviously, I know you're happy with what you've got down at Crosby Marine, and about like expanding, partner with any professionals.
God, I'm taking over Liverpool.
Or like going over it.
And then when I go to Liverpool, I'm going to go over the water, because there's someone who wants me to go over the water. And
that's
then
what I mean.
Go,
like sister clubs in other regions, like other parts of the country.
1,000,000%. I'm going to. Moving forward, for me, this movement is going to be women empowering women, and I want the 1% club to be like moving forward, women led, and I want everyone
women taking over.
Yeah, you know, I'd love to work with the men, but men are from Mars. So that needs to be done, but they're welcome down here, and you know, the men are great that come down here, but for me, you know, fundamentally I'm going down the women empowering women. So I want women with me moving forward. And I love it when I find like local independent businesses, Scouse Girls, and you know, I love watching women who are. I went to the fashion show, my mate Kathy had a fashion show not long ago, went there, and I come out, and Kerry, this lady, was talking on the stage, and by the end of it I was crying my eyes out. When she finished, I jumped up. I was like, and I ran to the end of the stage, and she went, oh my God, Cassie, I can't believe that you're here, I follow you. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm fucking crying my eyes out, because you just inspired me. And you're saying the same thing back to me. Do you know what I mean? So for me, moving forward, I want mine to be like female led, people who inspire, you know, women who want to see women doing good. Katie, my friend who we've done a podcast with, who I met, has helped me set my CIC up. She's involved with it. She's amazing. She inspires me. Like, without her, I wouldn't have the CIC. I just said I wanted the CIC. I was on the way to Llandudno with Alan and Steve with the Hope Centre not long ago. She phoned me on the Wednesday morning and was like, Cassie, you've got the CIC, and sent me
What did that?
I was crying my eyes out to all the hours on the bus. Sitting next to someone we called Pam, who looked like Gavin and Stacey's mum, Pam. Like, it's absolutely amazing. Like, magic happens when women inspire women. The first time in my life I've got women in it. I've never had girl mates. I've always had lad mates, me. I don't know what it is, because I've always got on with the lads and I've always kind of been like this. It must have intimidated women, but back then I was threatened of them, but now looking back, they were threatened of me just because of like how easygoing I am, and I can just adapt to, like, you know.
Where someone might be feeling uncomfortable around men or whatever, and just, you know, you're bubbly.
I went for my dinner the other night. I've got I'm so grateful for the women I've got in my life. My best mate, like a couple of the other girls, like, I'd be absolutely lost. I call her my bag for life. Love her. She come to mine years ago to get her nails done, and from the minute we said hiya, like, she's been like a stealth, loyal friend. And without these women, which I've never had before in my life, without these women, I wouldn't be the woman that I am today, because my mum wasn't like a girl's girl. She never really had mates. She's quite bitter, do you know what I mean? It was like, my mum was like me.
She's old school.
Yeah. So, like, it was always me and my mum. We were like best mates. We weren't like mother and daughter. Probably one of the reasons as to why our relationship is the way it is, because we were like best mates, and we should have been like
mother and daughter.
Yeah. And I done the same with my kids. I was in the doctor's not long ago with my middle one, and he had anxiety, and I was like, mate, why have you got anxiety? You're 17. Like, nothing's even happened. Like, what are you like for Eddie? You haven't even got a job or not. You're only in college 2 days a week. You got everything. And he went, I know you gave me everything. He went, but we didn't want your presents. We wanted your presents. And I just sat back on the chair, and when we sat in the doctor's...
When he said that, Cass, did it hit you like a ton of bricks?
Oh my God, it was like someone had just stabbed me. And when I went into the doctor's room and sat behind him, and the doctor said he had anxiety and gave him antidepressants, and I cried my eyes out, and I was like, wow. But I'd done exactly what my mum had done, and I said I weren't going to do. It was, I got presents instead of presents.
Being present.
Yeah. Because there was always something going on, or having a drink, or murder, or parties, or this, or that, or working, or da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But I got spoiled rotten. But looking back now...
You wanted, not presents, being present.
So for me 17-year-old to say that to me absolutely crucified me. And to see the damage that the part I played in the kids, that kills me. Mm-hmm. But for me now, it's something that...
But Cass, you're doing something about it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Listen, even though that's like... It cripples your hair and that. Well, it cripple anyone hair and that. And listen, let's be honest, don't be so what's the name on yourself, because there's so many people out there.
I'm grateful that I've got the chance to rectify it.
Yeah,
and I'm grateful that I've got a chance that my son done a character reference. I was in court at the beginning of the year. My eldest lad done a character reference, and it blew me away, sobbed my heart out, and I read it to the judge, and I cried my eyes out, and I gave it to them. And there was a fella in the court from the Daily Mail, and he come running out and asked for a copy of it and took me picture. 2 days later, I was on the front of the Daily Mail with the character reference, and it was like, that could have been my eulogy at my funeral. That character reference, what he wrote in that character reference, he could have said at my funeral.
From the heart, it was from the fucking... It was
and
real.
It was like, it's them moments where you're like, fucking hell, do you know what I mean?
So this is what, this is why you're changing. This is why, you're changing for...
Not just my kids.
For yourself as well. For yourself as well,
I have to do this for me.
But with your kids and stuff is like that, like when, like, your eldest lads wrote that, and you know what, it just goes to show, Cass, like, look, no matter what they've been through and stuff like that, it's about what you're doing now. You're trying to make change for the better. Consistency, that's the one.
Consistency is key.
Yeah.
And listen, there's no such thing. People go, oh, I've done it. Oh, I'm going to be a failure. When my ex, before last year, when we split, you'll be nothing without me. I was your golden ticket. Like, you got this because of me. It's that. And it's the consistency. It's the showing up. It's stepping outside of your comfort zone. You can literally do whatever you want to do.
Exactly.
Like,
you even go into like what you said before about the going to the orchestra, going to class, like listening to what's name music and all that. Where
I bounce around my house with like gospel music on. Like my kids have come in and gone, "What are you doing?" I'm like that. Ah, there is miracles on miracles. Do you know what I mean? Honestly, but like. You have to completely change everything about yourself. You've got to strip yourself back bare and kind of like start again. It's like being reborn. You're being reborn. Because I was 38 years of age. Like, you are who you are. You're kind of like setting your age. You're like a grumpy old mum, aren't you? Do you know what I mean? You're setting your ways to make that change at such a later stage in your life. And I got an ADHD diagnosis when I was 41 and things like that. To make that change is like, you know, it's scary, but it's unbelievable.
When it happens, you know what I mean? And when you start doing something about it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm gonna ask you something now. If it wasn't for somebody, I wouldn't be here today. Who's that person?
My kids.
Your kids?
Yeah. 1,000,000%. No one else. My children.
Yeah.
That's it.
Because you know, before when you said about like when you'd gone to the Lake District and that, I was like, wow, fucking hell. And when someone's...
I've never took my kids away on holiday on my own. Like, I was an absolute fucking liability. Like, genuinely was an absolute liability.
But you know what though? You've owned it. You know, you've come on here.
You have to. If you don't own it, you're gonna... the addiction is you are caught in the shackles of shame and guilt. Every time you admit your flaw, every time I've put something on and I've told people my story, you let go of a shackle. I am no longer a prisoner to the addiction. I am no longer an addict, because I can go, if I wanted to, right now I could be sat here having a bevy. Like, what are you going to do about it? I'm having a bevy, end of.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Things come in every single day where obviously the thought comes in, could I have a bevy? But you don't.
Do you know, like you say there, but you know, your kids, that's the reason why you're still here. You know, the people that you surround yourself with as well.
I surround myself
getting sucked in,
greatness.
you know, could you get sucked, like you said, going out or whatever, can you get, you know, now, you what you've explained before is where, you know, it's just, like, I can take you away from this situation where you got in a taxi in Matthew Street and
I do now, I'm out and about and I'm tired, I'm going home, do you know what I mean? I don't do any...
feel that, that urge to have a bevy?
No, I don't feel obliged, no. Yeah, you do feel the urge to have a bevy. Like, you genuinely do feel the urge, it does come in all the time. I don't know whether it'll ever go. But I used to drink on my feelings and emotions, so it always went tits up. Like, I don't drink on my feelings and emotions as hard as it is. Like, I don't do it because it serves absolutely no purpose. And then the last 2.5 years were for nothing. Do you know what I mean? I don't think anyone can say they're never, you know, an addiction or whatever, they're never going to do it ever again. You can't say that because you don't know. You do not know. But it's not even anywhere on my priorities of...
It just doesn't even come into fucking what's name. It's like, you know...
I don't want my kids burying me, otherwise I'd have done it by now. And I don't want my kids growing up. And I don't want... I'll be able to have a relationship with my grandkids when my kids have kids. I've got 3 boys, do you know what I mean? I'm going to get grandkids. I'm going to be that boss nana that goes, give me the baby for the weekend, go and enjoy yourself. Like, that would never have happened. That if I was in the midst of the madness, I'd be that mum that the kids come and throw a Mother's Day card, you know, and a birthday card, pop in for 5 minutes at Christmas type of thing. That's not going to happen. It's not great at the moment, but it will get there. Do you know what I mean?
You know, Cass, it's going to get there.
Like, I go to my kids, I said to the kids today on a message, I was like, you know, you've still got mistakes to be made, but I'll always be there for you. But I've just got to let them go through what they're going to go through, because otherwise I'm going to get caught up in that web, and I'll end up back where I was a couple of weeks ago, because obviously I didn't see me middle one on his 18th birthday. I spoke to him, like, but I didn't see him, and it's the first birthday where I haven't seen him. But that was because a situation went from 0 to 1,000.
And listen, they do happen, and listen, like I keep saying, you're not the first, and you certainly won't be the last, and, you know, look, what you're doing is amazing, and you've got to take a lot of credit, and you've got to be proud of yourself, and I know, you know, what you're doing, and you're happy within yourself, and
I'm incredibly proud.
You know, and that takes a lot coming here today. You know what I mean? And like you're saying, you've come if you come from Liverpool, you've come over to the dark side, to sunny runny.
I feel like I've gone to like Spain or somewhere. Like honestly, the taxi, I was like a little bewildered kid when I walked into the train station. Like, where should I get a taxi?
No, but it's like, you know, you've got to be proud and stuff. But, you know, but one thing you want people to remember about Cassie Willow and the 1% Club after this podcast.
Any given moment in your life, you can turn it around. Your past definitely does not define you as a person. We all make mistakes. Fucking own it and carry on. All the people you think are talking about you probably don't even give a flying fuck, if I'm being totally honest. Sorry for swearing.
It's okay, it's okay.
They don't care. Like, just be unapologetically you. Find your tribe. You'll lose people. They're like trees.
But you find people.
Yeah, if you've got the roots, they're there forever. Do you know what I mean? You've got the branches, they break off, you know, break.
And they grow again.
And then you've got the leaves that come for a season and that. Like, just be you. Find good people. Unfollow all the absolute melts. Unfollow them. Like, follow people that inspire you and follow greatness. And keep your circles where people... My followers and like my friends have pulled me out of places that family haven't. Do you know what I mean? And people that I thought were...
It's always the way.
It's been complete strangers, like complete strangers. You know, I've been having shit days. People have walked up to me in town like, oh my God, you're amazing. I'm like, oh, fucking crank, 16 personalities, the stabby one. Patricia doesn't come out anymore, like off split, because we don't drink. But like, you know, you can be anything, you can do anything that your heart desires.
You
if
put
you
your
can
mind
feel
to
it,
yeah.
you can see it, it'll happen. And there's no such thing as failure if you never give up. You've just got to kind of do a detour. Like when you take a wrong turn, the sat nav will always take you back. Might just start a couple of minutes or a couple of miles, but you will always get to where you're going. Just as Brian says, never give up, never give in.
Do you know what you just said about the sat-nav? That just made me laugh. The amount of times me and my missus have, what's the name, I engaged her in the car.
Oh, I can't do sat-nav.
And I'm going, you can just get back on at the next junction. And I'm like, do you know what I mean?
Can't do them. They're like the worst thing ever, invented, are sat-navs, because they're just like, they're slow.
Yeah. How do people get involved with the 1% Club?
So you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I've got a Spotify, I've got a YouTube. When I have a little break, I set a LinkedIn in because I was trying to get a barcode so people could scan.
QR code.
That's it. And I didn't know how to set the LinkedIn thing, and I didn't know if I'd done it right, and I didn't know how to put it, and I put like stay-at-home mum, and I've had to I'm waiting for my mate to come and help me because I keep getting off on jobs as like a nanny somewhere, and I was just like... Like the other day, I'm going to Poland at the end of September. The other day on one and ours, I just signed up to go and be in like a camp in Poland and for like 2 weeks, work with people in Poland and just have conversations and that with them. And my mate's like, why? And I was like, oh, I don't know. So stop, why not?
That's it.
But yeah, just never give up. There's nothing that you can't do. There really is. When we were kids, you know, people have slept in the wellies for a week. You've gone out with like knickers on your head and everything, and everyone's been like, oh, do you know what I mean? People, places, and situations, families, and everything. They're the people that tell you that you can't do it. They're the reason why people don't. They're the reason why I've not been where I've been. I've always been in or I've been in a relationship, or been in like circles and that where all these ideas have always been there, and I've helped people and I've elevated them and that, but I've always been behind them. So with me ex, it was like, oh, that's Cassie, such and such's partner, do you know what I mean? From such and such, do you know what I mean? But I brought loads to it, type of thing.
Yeah.
But I've always been able to do it. And like when he left, you'll have nothing now as you go, you know what I mean? Look at me now. And that's not me being in me. You know, that's me fucking pulling myself through the absolute. You've got to walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I'm telling you. And I've fucking walked through it. I've walked through it many a times. Listen, I had to get a pumice stone the other day to get all the hard skin off from all the rocks and that I've been rolling through. But, you know, do you know what I mean? If you get me on that thing, you've got to fucking go through shit
You've got to
And
go.
some people have some people have one story, and if something, that's all that's about them. That's all that's about me. There's things like where the thing that I got section for and that, which I will talk to at a later date, but because of my kids and their age and, things like that, there's things that I held back. But there will be a point when I talk about it. But I've never give up. I might have fucking sunk, I might have drowned, I might have gone under, I've just gone away for 2 weeks, I've just come back, so I went, you're like an absolute sociopath. I went, I know, pal. but that's life.
But your story, Cassie, this is why I wanted you to come on, because it's certainly good, bad and ugly.
Yeah.
You've gone through fucking all of that, and look what you're doing now today, and you've got to be very proud of yourself. Like you're saying, you're still working on certain things and all that. And you want to be better than that person you used to be, like you said.
When I look at myself in the mirror now, I am incredibly proud of the woman that I am stood here right now, and no one will ever be able to take that away from me. Willow Love is my legacy to leave my boys. Do you know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
I will leave to my boys a legacy of my mum was a fucking badass, and no matter what, 'cause they've seen it all, no matter what my mother's gone through, she's always come back fighting.
And that's, what you're saying there, your boys will,
it mightn't feel like it's ever going to happen. For me right now, it doesn't feel like it's ever going to happen, but it will.
But it will. But look, that's the positives. That's the positive Cassie was seeing. And what I wanted to say to you was, what would Cassie Willow today say to Cassie Willow back when she was going through the bad and the ugly?
Hang in, kid. Hang in, because it's going to be an amazing adventure, as hard as it's been. Like, just hang in. Like, hang in there. Don't give up. Just keep going. Honestly, like, the battles that I face in myself, even to the point now where I lock myself away from the world and my friends, and it does some of my mates heads in, and they go, I can't keep, it's dead in. And I understand where they're coming from, but I finally realised that I cannot bleed onto others a wound that wasn't theirs to bear anymore, which I've done. There's, I'm not going to lie, there's friendships that I have ruined and it's gone tits up because I've bled onto them, because I didn't know what I know now. But what's happened has happened, and, it's water under the bridge and you can't go back. But there is certain friendships that, for me, I think to myself, I'm a little bit gutted, and there will come points where I hope I'll be able, it might never be the same ever again, just to be able to check in on them and things like that. And that's massive to admit, for someone to admit, especially on a podcast, because I've never admitted that before. Because there is some the mind body coach put something thing up yesterday, and it was about bleeding onto others, and I commented on it, and I was like, I've only just kind of got to that point now where I don't do that anymore, because I've done that a lot. I've bled onto others a lot.
But what you're saying, bleeding onto others and stuff, Cassie, sometimes bleeding onto others or reaching out to others, the similar things, because you're fucking hurting that much and you don't think you can speak to people, and
something's happened for me to get to that point. You know what I mean?
You haven't just woke up and gone,
knowing what I know now and done the work I've done on myself up to now, I would have done this, I would have went about the situation differently. I would have stopped it before it got to the point where the friendship is no longer a friendship. But I can't change that. It's things you can't change.
But look,
listen, I'm sitting in here and I'm admitting it, and people will be watching it probably, at one day that I will hopefully be able to just kind of be like, listen, I was wrong. Admitting that you're wrong and saying sorry to someone. It's like pouring salt on a slug.
No, it is. But what's in the pipeline for Cassie Willow?
I'm going to take over Liverpool. Literally, I'm going to be on stages, empowering other women, showing them abuse, domestic violence, assault, this, that and the other. There's nothing that you can't achieve. I want to take over everywhere. Everyone who's ever hurt me and can't stand me, and I live rent-free in your head, you're going to have to literally have me living rent-free in your head.
Do you know what, Cassie? I've said this to a few people who've come on the podcast, and I say it quite a bit, with what you've been through, and going into colleges and schools or
I want to go
unis
into schools. I want to go into colleges.
and bring awareness of certain
Last
you know,
year I started running with a school over the water, and done little meditations, went in and done little meditations and that with the kids, and obviously I had to take I took a step away and I had to disassociate myself and get them to remove anything about me on it, but that was to do with the breakup of my ex type of thing, because then they got involved, and so I want to go into schools. I want to start with that's why I say to people, people go, can I bring the kids? I go, but they go, can't come because of the kids, bring the kids down. People have gifted me, I've got colouring books and everything coming out me, eyeballs for the summer. I want the kids involved. It starts with the kids. Kids are absolutely, kids' mental health's on its arse because of social media and phones and that. It needs to start with the kids. I want to go into schools. I want to go into hostels. I want to go into units with women in domestic violence. I want to go into the likes of like Clockview. I want to go into prisons. Not long ago, I was like, I'm going to go fucking feral and end up in prison. And I'm going to turn the prison round when I get in there, because I'll be able to sit there, I'll have nothing else to do. I'm going to read the books and I'm going to empower all the women in the prisons type of thing. I want to show people, and especially women, that my whole life I've been told to shut up, sit down, don't say this, you can't do that. Things have happened to me where I haven't been able to say things because, you know, we're like, you know, constantly like this, like everything's like hush, and I've hushed my whole life, and I've, you know, I've not had an opinion, I've been a people pleaser. No. Off your pot. No. And I want to show other women that is possible. It is possible, because I'm living proof. And every single person, I said it on my post today on the way here, every single person in my who I class as my friends and my family, every single person is exactly the same. We inspire each other. That's and it. where I am excelling in something and someone else is flagging in it, I'm their strength at that time, and then there'll be things that they're excelling in that I'm not. And what happens is it's a ripple effect. So, you know, where I'm struggling, someone can pick me up there, and it just...
Everyone can help each other.
It's like the WD-40 on the squeaky door. It ain't squeaking anymore. Just go and get it out the cupboard, you lazy bastard, and spray it. That's what my circling things is. I've blocked people who've been my friend for years, like genuinely years, something they've done, or, you know, I will not tolerate people who... sit with the enemy. You can't sit with the enemy. Someone who knows me and knows categorically someone has hurt me or done me the dirty, and you want to go there and go, oh, I'm going there because I'm gonna, you know, I'm supporting their community. Because I wouldn't do that. There's things I've been invited to that I haven't in the past gone to, knowing that someone would be there.
Loyalty, you mean loyalty?
Because for me, if I go somewhere and someone's there that I know's there that's done me dirty, if I come home and moan and cry and this, that and the other and throw me dummy out the cart, who's to blame for it? Me, because I knew that it was going to happen.
Yeah.
So for me, if anyone even like sits with the devil, I block you. See you later. I haven't got time for it. I haven't gone through what I've gone through. What I'm doing for me and my kids, nobody else. Nobody else. I lost everything, and I lost my children. So anything else to me is small change.
Yeah. Well, like you say, you know, you've obviously got your 1% club and you've got that family and stuff like that. That's what you're building. But how can people contact? I mean, what socials and that are you on? So
it's Facebook, Cassie Willow. TikTok is Willow Love. Instagram is Willow Love, or Cassie Willow 7 TikTok. Willow Love is Instagram. You can or Willow Love on YouTube. You can kind of just send me a DM. And or follow me. Everything. There's things going on. Listen, I'm like, you know, I'm so unpredictable and so spontaneous that like I can go on. When are you going to do I've done it loads of times. When are you doing this on Sunday? And then I've gone right. I've got to run in on a walking group on a Wednesday. And now I'm going to be starting the morning in the cafe for like women to come down and see me and stuff. It's to give people the opportunity to come down to clubs where sometimes one club might be busy where the other one mightn't. It gives people people have come down and messaged me. I've said, there's my number. They've texted me and I've gone out and met them because they didn't want to come in and walk in and stuff. And I bring them in and I sit them down. You know, I'm effing and blind and being an absolute tit, having a laugh, crying my eyes out sometimes, you know.
But that's you though.
But it's showing people that it's okay. Then they just go, oh, do you know what I mean?
They feel comfortable, you know what I mean? It's not, you know, they're not judged.
And I message every single person back, and when I message people back and voice note them, because I'm a prolific voice noter, and when I'm on one, you can get like half a dozen. And people message me and go, oh my God, thank you so much for getting back to me. And I go, unless you're sliding in my DMs being a sleaze or being a nosy bastard, I message every single person back, and I like to comment on back to every single person on my post, because you've taken the time to follow me. These people who follow me don't realise that they've pulled me. They've stopped me from killing myself in November last year. I was broken for the last time by a man, to a point where I was ready to end it, and I thought I was in a really good position that never would happen again. And honestly, like, I've never felt pain like that before. The only other person who has hurt me and to that degree is my mum, because I told him things and he literally came in and used every single, and broke me to the point where I couldn't even speak to the psychologist and the crisis team because I was that convinced that everything that was coming out of my mouth was a lie. And I was a narcissist, and I was this, that, and the other. And they were like, the reason that you're saying it tells me that you're not. Like, I was embroiled in YouTube and podcasts, and, you know, everything I could watch, like narcissism, like, is it me? You know.
You're questioning yourself.
Everything, like, it's mad, like, where you can be and get to, but I needed that. And I wouldn't change it. And if I had the option to go back and do it again, knowing what I know, I'd do it again, because I needed that to happen for me to finally step into my power, because I would have always been someone's something, someone's arm candy, the life and soul of the party. I would have never have been
your own person.
I would have been able to go to my full potential.
Yeah.
Like I am doing now. No one tells me what to do. I get it right sometimes and I get it wrong. But I'm doing the 1% Club on my terms type of thing, and I'm learning. And I don't tell people that I've got it all sorted. I do get things wrong all the time.
I wing a lot of things, mate. So listen, you know, I wish, you know, I was, you know, at everything, but I'm not, just human, and that's all we are. And, you know, but for you to come on and listen, Cassie, you've opened up. I knew a little bit about you. No, but listen.
Well, I have proper opened up, really.
But look, this is why I wanted you to come on, and because I've seen a lot of you. Well, my wife does and stuff, and watches a lot of your stuff and that. And I've seen you, and I've followed you for a long time, for a while. And to see you on your bad days and stuff, that's you, and you're on your good days and you're helping other people. But even to when you've had a shit week and you turn up on a Sunday, and you are emotional and you are effing and blind.
But you'd all come home and we're on, like, literally, like, on cloud nine, and it takes you into the week.
It starts, you could have had a shit week or a shit end of that.
The last 2.5 weeks has been one shit day after another, because I closed myself off, turned my phone off, didn't get back to anyone, and just absolutely procrastinated, and shit gets shittier. Do you know what I mean?
Of course it does, yeah.
Sundays for me start my week up exactly how I intend to go on. Absolutely smashing life's head in with amazing people around me. Because we don't just do the 1% Club. What happens is people come down the 1% Club to meet me, and then when people have got now, they're in the outreach with Brian and doing the outreach with Brian. And
that's networking though. It's like, you know, what you're creating.
Met people through, I met, you know, people in Thrive and that through the cold water community in 2020 with Jimmy down at Crosby Marina, whereas the cold water started like the ball rolling, and then, you know, it opens new doors, doesn't it?
This is what it's about, you know, what you created, meeting people.
I want people involved, I want other communities involved.
And listen,
and I want everyone to come down, but don't come down thinking that you can come down and upset the apple cart, because that's happened, because you'll just get legged. And also, and I mean, well, yeah, I mean this in the nicest possible way, that it can actually be taken as like, don't think that if you've done me dirty or, you know, you're a shitty person that you're going to come down and I'm going to allow you to make anybody else feel uncomfortable. I'm not afraid to go to someone, listen, do us a favour, this isn't the club for you. Someone came down at the beginning, a woman, and I'd gone to bed because I said we had a group chat, and between 7 in the morning and 10, you could talk on it after that because there were so many people in it. Not to, but to reach outside of the group. And I added this woman I went to bed within 24 hours. I woke up the next morning.
People left the group?
No, yeah, if the phone was like hot, like she'd come in and caused absolute carnage, and I just messaged her, and I was just like straight to the point, like leg it, blocked, put a post up, and I was like, under no circumstances am I having any. And I've been called a mean girl, and not long ago I was getting absolutely terrorised by a group of girls that came down, and I took them in, because when I started this, I thought I don't want to get in a relationship with someone, so everyone that comes down, they're going to be my mate, they've come down to support me. I had them sleeping in my house, eating my food, with my kids, and they just took the absolute piss out of me, until one day I seen it, and I just went, do us a favour, fuck off. And kind of a big massive group of them with the ringleader just like come and attack me, you know what I mean, all shittiness and all that. And I was like, if it takes a group of yous to come at me and you want to call me a Regina George from Mean Girls for standing up for myself and not putting up with your shit anymore, then I'll take that in every day. I've been called worse. Now do us a favour, fuck off. I'm not having it, because it's not even about me. I can go away and do what I need to go and do. I'm not having anyone coming down to my community and someone upsetting them to the point where they could do something, put them in a relapse, kill themselves, or make them never come back or doubt themselves. Do you know how many times I've gone to
want a nice environment.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need all that drama.
I don't know whether you do or, you know, do you know how hard it has been? An absolute weapon and being horrible on the daily. Like, it absolutely consumes the life out here. But
I think what you're saying is...
Me being nice costs not, and I stop people in town. I stopped someone today, she was stood there with earphones, and I stopped, and I was like, oh, girl, that is an absolute vibe. Her face just like lit up. People do it to me.
Do you know what? I'm not saying you can change the world, but being nice might change the world for that person. If I
inspire one person, for me, that's enough. I know I'm not going to change the world.
But this is what I'm saying.
But I'll make my world moving forward a good one.
I put a quote on yesterday, and I said, you might not change the world, but for one person, you might, by being nice, being nice might change the world for that one person.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It costs nothing.
It costs nothing.
And it's just sad the way people,
I shared one. It was on me. It was on my banner on me. My Facebook. Hang on, let me see what it was. Yesterday, and it was an absolutely brilliant. I've got no glasses on, and it was, I am where I am because other people helped me. For that reason, I will never stop helping other people. It's as plain and simple as that.
And do you know what? Do you know when like a quote or whatever, and it's just, one person could be having
nothing changes if nothing changes. Yeah. I swear to God,
is
honestly.
That what you stick by? That's your...
Do you know the amount of days I've been walking around my house going, God, like, I do it through gritted teeth, but not, it really is. You can't. I've done the same thing for nearly 25, 30, nearly 20 years of my life, 25 years of my life, and expected it for an outcome. No. I dated the same type of men. Did I get any better outcome? And am I happily married again, living my best life? I'm shite. I'm absolutely war wounded to death. Yeah. Got shrapnel everywhere. Do you know what I mean? I'm absolutely terrified of the thought of ever getting into another relationship. But I know when I meet them, it'll just make sense, and my body will just go, like, when I'm with my friends, my body will just go safe. Like, I was in a ball of constant anxiety when I was in my last relationship. As soon as I heard the key coming in the door, I'd start sweating. I used to hide in the bedroom, in the back room, and turn my phone off like I'd gone out for the day. Do you know what I mean? In my house, because of that anxiety, because I couldn't... Oh, the expectations on me was just absolutely unbelievable. And then there was people unfollowed me, and when it got out that people got on that we weren't together, people messaged me and went, it was painful, I had to unfollow you because it was painful to watch what was happening and I couldn't see it. And there's videos still on my social media now because I haven't had they can't even be asked going down. They're that far down now, you'd
Yeah.
have to sit there for about a month to scroll to get to them. And, you know, it was a massive part of my life with the running and stuff. But there's videos there where he's actually saying, like, you know, when I first met Cassie and I'd ask her to do something, she'd point blank just go no. And now, you know, I'll ask her to do it. She might kick, she might scream, she might moan, she might cry, but she'll get it done. And I was like laughing and that about it. Mate, that's a video you've put out there basically telling people what you're doing. Do you know what I mean? What you're doing, it's blatantly what you're doing.
Exactly, it's just, it's scary when you look at,
It's
you know.
proper scary. Like, if I look at, I put a video up not long ago and I was like, you know, narcissistic relationship, and then after, and it was like a video where last year I pushed myself to the point where I ended up in a lapse for the day. I was absolutely fucking broken. And then I put a video up where I was the other week and it's like, I'd shaved my hair off my eyes, I'd like, I'm absolutely loving life. You can just see that I haven't got...
Don't give a shit anymore.
Yeah, because you can see it. You could see my kind of like going down and down. And because I was in the group and because obviously I was their partner, it got to the point then when people looked at me as like one of the leaders, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
then I couldn't reach out in the community or the group because I couldn't be seen to be struggling. And then it was like, you can't tell people what's going on in our private life because they're people in the community. So then I completely retracted myself from everything. So when it finally ended, I was kind of like on my own again.
Yeah.
Trying to build
Just
it all
trying to
back
get it
up.
back to...
Yeah.
I mean, Cass, you know what? Your story is one I think a lot of women out there will relate to, and you know, similar.
There's men though that relate
There's men,
to
yeah.
it as
Listen,
well.
and it's similar.
Because it, you know, it's domestic violence and the drinking and that. Men
Actually,
struggle
funny
too.
enough. Well, I say funny enough. It's nothing to be funny about. But there was I seen a video the other day where, you know, it went viral where like a girl.
I seen it.
Yeah. So you're totally right in domestic violence within
And my
men.
whole body just went into like kind of like pins. My tongue went massive pins and needles in my mouth, and I was just like, because I have been that. I've had to fight back like that. I've been in relationship, not the way like the fellow was standing there taking it. I've been getting, you know, battered and things. And I have been here, I've had to fight back for I've been in bed, my ex-husband's come in and flipped the mattress, I've had the kids in, the baby in the bed with me. I've had my tea through with me, honestly, you wouldn't even believe the things that he's done. And then he met someone else and like they, you know, and done the same. Like, and it's one of those delusional, and he's got a family full of enablers who enable him to be an absolute raging nut job.
Yeah, and unfortunately in life, Cassie, you know, these people do exist and stuff, and it's just sad that obviously you've had to endure.
And that's their lane, but
Yeah,
like, do us a favour, mate, stay over there in your lane. Don't be coming down. Mine's all like happy and like, you know, dopamine's up to the eyeballs. I've got all kinds of peace signs and little mushrooms and all that bouncing around. I don't want to go down the one where it's all dark and like secluded and you know what I mean. You just stay over there.
Cass, I just want to say that was really, really deep and very honest and very open, and I just want to say, you know what, thank you so much for sharing the good,
Tony,
the bad.
do you know what, I'm absolutely buzzing, like genuinely, I'm proud of myself sitting here. I'm sitting here now in the back of my head, I'm like, it's fucking right. Because I'm at a point now where I'm able to talk about it and I can articulate my conversations and I'm able to explain what's going on, but it was easily led by you.
No, but so thank you so much.
Like, I'm dead starstruck.
No,
honestly. But you've got to understand, like me, when you said, what's it like when people come running up to you and go, you're an inspiration, and you're kind of like...
No, but it gives you that, listen, you know what, at the end of the day...
You're giving people a platform to tell their truth. Do you know what I mean? The good, the bad and the ugly. There's podcasts that don't let you do that.
Do you know what, listen, Cassie, we're a podcast that we like to give people a platform and let people open up. But to a degree where, you know, we'll always say to them, look, are you happy with this and are you happy with that?
Yeah, which is what you've done. You've made me feel completely comfortable. And obviously when you're like, and I was like, no, I don't want to, let's just kind of, we'll go with whatever comes out. But I appreciate you and I'm grateful for the fact that you've allowed me to talk about things, but that I'm proud of the fact that I've talked about things that I've never talked about with not even people who are close to me like me friends.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I've admitted things today that for me, it's kind of like, I come in a little bit like that. It's kind of let that little bit of a shackles go, because this is my time to shine.
No, of course it is.
We all make mistakes.
Listen, and you know what? You've owned it. And listen, like I've just said, I'm just honoured that you've been so open, and thanks for sharing the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah. Oh, listen, come on, I'm a hugger.